and the creek sings underground. I saw a daisy bow by the old well in the lane, and three small birds in a row flung silver into the rain. Hark now, the year turns soft, hear the damp earth wake, boots on the plank for ship as the warming breezes break. Spring is coming home, spring is coming home, spring is coming home, let it come. Fairies in the dawn, fairies in the dawn, dancing in the sun, children sing along. Lift your cup, my dear, the dark days are done. Spring is coming home. Baker's boy ran laughing with petals in his hair, and the miller's daughter whirled like she was made of air. Hark now, the air turns sweet, hear the rafters hum, every heart in the hall knows the blossom time has come. Spring is coming home, spring is coming home, spring is coming home, let it come. Fairies in the thorn, fairies in the thorn, dancing in the sun, children sing along. Lift your cup, my dear, the dark days are done. Spring is coming home. When the last snow melts in the ditch beside the road, we'll set out bread and song for the shy folk from the wood. May every barefoot field wear a wreath of the yellow flame, and every little heart remember its own name. Spring is coming home, spring is coming home, spring is coming home, let it come. Fairies in the thorn, fairies in the thorn, dancing in the sun, children sing along. Lift your cup, my dear, the dark days are done. Spring is coming home. Spring is coming home.
Down at Ironmark farm, a storm came off the bog. Green teeth at the gate and mud on every log. But Hetty at the porch rail with a broom and iron pan Said, if you want my yard, boys, come take it if you can. Her son had a splitting maul, her daughter had a pole. The goblins came in snarling for the hens and beetroot row. They leapt up through the nettles, they clambered at the stairs. But Hetty...
Well, alrighty then, here we are. Hopefully everything's working right. But, so what we got here is the good old founding of Ironmark. I don't know where I came up with the idea for Ironmark, but that's what it's called. With our classy witch. So, it just leaves us with, what do we want to do? But, yeah, don't know what to do. So the big thing will be, we're going to start work again. Yeah, we're gonna start, like I said, from the top down. So we might as well rename this episode 1. So let's see if it updates. It probably won't. But hey, anyway, going from the top down presents a whole different set. Most people when they build a tabletop RPG setting, they start from the bottom, a small village. I mean, I'm doing it right now with a small village, and expand out around it, the dungeon or whatever. Keep on the Borderlands. There's the village, Village of Hominal. Those are very good examples from early D&D. And the other way you can do it is you just keep going and going around in circles, slowly building up the hexes. And one adventure leads to another, and then on and on and on.
Teach the heart to bloom. Your kindness makes us strong and turns our grief to song. Blessed be your hand, blessed be your hand over land.
Sorry, my so I'm occupied to make sure that I had everything I needed for all of this. Well, I have the feeling like everything's going to go bad right here. But, anyway, like I said, a lot of people do it. They also do it with they invent the location for the PC's Other First Adventures, but I wanted to do it this time where we would start with, the founding of the cosmos, the gods, the founding of the races, and then keep focusing in. We'd done that pretty well, and then, bam, Twitch decided to use my voice for the majority of the stream, which is all. It's all fun and games until someone mutes your voice. Anyway, yeah. Part now is we're going to start over. So we'll start with the founding of the cosmos. Yeah, this is terrific fun. This is actually pretty discouraging. It really is, because I'm delete all these. Actually, I'm gonna do more than that. I'm not gonna. Yeah, okay, I'll sit here and delete it all. Alright, so it's just one thing. Everything was looking good, and then bam. So we'll start over now. Maybe we'll add the other races. I was in a really good mood when I added rat folk, cat folk, dog folk, nice girls, and divas. Because it was kind of neat. You know, we had our difference for the gnomes and the halflings, and then it didn't work out. Ugh. So, first thing, of course, is cosmology. And when you're going from top down, cosmology. And you need to decide, do the gods take an active hand in the world? For those of you old enough, in Xena, the gods took an active hand in the world to the point where you could find Ares drinking in a bar, sizing up everybody to fight, and murder a few of them. Or Zeus down at the brothel. Or, you know, just, you could find the gods in the world. Which is actually fun, but then gives the whole thing of the PCs want to fight them. Which made it interesting, you know, because Xena would fight, you know, the gods, but they'd always come up. Even if she stabbed Ares, he would appear later. And you can do that. You can put their avatars can be defeated, but it doesn't defeat them. It just puts you on their shit list forever. Those can be fun, but it depends on the kind of game you're playing. Pathfinder 1E, which I'm playing, I work with, has very distinct power levels. It has your low fantasy, which is 10.5, which I hope you enjoy not being able to do anything at all. And then they've got the whole thing. They've got the whole thing running good. So, and by running good, I mean running good. We're talking mythic power, demigod abilities, basically. I mean, for when you know you're a badass. And no, I have no idea why it says I'm streaming Fallout 76. I'm not. I'm not streaming Fallout 76. And I don't know why it says I am.
Well, thank you.
Which is a little pissy to me, but hey.
Well, thank you.
Which is a little pissy to me. Anyway. Oops. But, okay. Gotta figure out why it's popping the things it is, but anyway. Anyway. But, so, first thing you need to decide is how are the gods going to be. For this one, we'll leave it, they can manifest avatars. Mostly they're involved in running the day-to-day stuff. So, you know, they don't really involve themselves in the affairs of mortals beyond granting prayers. Okay, so that's pretty much how it starts. Oh, wow, that's nice. Headache right off the bat. I like having images to just throw in here, because that way when they sit up there it's not that ugly orange thing. Okay, gods. Gods are involved in the world through avatars, prayers, and divine magic. Hooray! Solar system is in a crystal sphere. Let's see, we've got, I don't know what sounds good. I mean, not sure what sounds good here. I mean, 11 planets, 2 inner red zone, 1 inner yellow zone, 1 green zone. There's 4 of the 11, so 1 1 yellow outer zone, and the rest. That is 1, 2, 3, 5. 1 red outer zone. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll go 4 gas giants, 1 outer system planet. Okay. Saturn, Neptune, Jupiter. Alright. So that pretty much does it. Planet. Thing about 2 moons is it really screws up your tides. I had an idea for the last one I'm going to use anyway. So it looks like there's 3 moons. One the size of Luna. That's our moon. One small but very bright, just past the moon. Comet. Bright, icy asteroid captured by gravity. One small, tiny and bright spaceship a la the Warden from Metamorphosis Alpha. Hey, no, that's good fucking size there, baby. You can do all kinds of stuff with that. But the big thing is the tides aren't really affected, so it's going to keep screwing up their math. It's going to keep screwing up their solar system work, because you've got several planets that aren't going along with the plan. You know, the plan should be, okay, we do this, and then we do this for math, for orbital math. But instead, are you fucking kidding me? But instead, the whole thing is, okay, this is just the way my fucking day is going, I guess. Looks like every bit of data I had for this is gone. So, it's not that big a deal. Keep going. Yeah, I had all kinds of data I cut out and got ready for this. It's just, it's gonna be one of those weeks, isn't it, chat? But you know what? You just keep going. Alright, anyway. I really wanted the PDF, you know, because I was gonna work with a few things. It never fails, does it? But the big thing is we're just going to go in and grab a piece of paper. But sorry, I am jumping around a lot. Okay, so we're gonna have it where the whole thing is just sorry, my head hurts today. It just started too, isn't that your guys' luck? It just fucking started. But we're gonna go down, which means sun, normal yellow, because you really want to screw with how it's gonna change everything from color to plant. Of course, you can always do like like Isaac Asimov said, why bother renaming? I mean, why put? And then he put on his flump, and then he flugen down the road for Exto Taka, which means he put on his shoes and walked down the road for 3 miles. Just fucking say he put on his shoes and walked down the road for a few miles. You know, it's when he wrote that, too many people were like completely reinventing everything, and it got really, really terrible. But anyway, I'm looking for I have a lot of old stuff from the heyday of AD&D, and I'm looking for a certain piece of hex paper that we're going to use, because it makes it so you can do interesting stuff, and because I'm a dipshit. Anyway, but yeah, so I can find that. I can actually get some stuff done. God, today is just not going on. Anyway, the goal is to build a cosmology that's believable. Having the player be able to jump planets sounds good in the beginning until they want to do it, and then you're going, well, crap, now what? Yeah, they're like, okay, so I was able to do that, now what do I do? Because then you have to build the whole planet again. So just make them where they're all impossible for people to survive, even with magic. Well, that's a Dungeon Master's Guide. That's not going to help. But I mean, that'll put it right there. So we've got our planet, we got our 3 moons. A good average size for continents is between 4 and 8. Technically, we have 7. But the big problem is, you know, I'd love to use one of the generators. I'm tempted to just say fuck it and use a generator because I'm getting frustrated and annoyed. And now, nobody likes a frustrated and annoyed roads because he's just boring. And just never mind. And then just go never mind and build it where who gives a shit how it came out, who cares if it goes by, all this other stuff. Since, I mean, let's face it, once we zoom in, everybody's just going to start an Ironmark anyway. And I know I keep jumping around a lot. I do that. I do that on occasion. And I don't know why. I'm very, unlike a lot of people that you follow or listen to, I jump around a lot because my brain doesn't hold still. Anyway. So. Screw it. Okay. We're going to go with the planet has. We'll go, let's see, you got North America, South America. Australia counts, I guess. Africa. And then you've got Europe, Asia, North America, and then Antarctica. Antarctica doesn't count, and Europe and Asia looks like one big one. So when you look at it, it looks like we've got Africa, Eurasia, North America, South America, Australia. So it looks like we only have 5. So it's okay if you've got one hidden, and the others are, 1 or 2 of the others are slammed together, because that's how it works. No, that's how things actually work. Hey, I found the forms. To the wrong one. Anyway, God, I love my fucking life. But I love my stupid life sometimes. But so then we're like, okay, we got 5. We got 5, there it is, the world builders. One of these will be our hexes, because it's all in JPEG. But, we'll have, oh crap, what is this? Of course, it's nothing that I need. That's sure enough to piss me off, but, anyway. So, if we make a big one slam together, you get the mountains. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about with mountains. Because, you know, look at the ones that everybody's always trying to climb. You have those. So, I guess chat we can go with. I guess we can go with. We'll go with 8. Well, no, we'll go with 5 continents, but it looks like more. Oh, it looks like less because 1 or 2 of them are slammed together. This is annoying. I really wanted this thing, but yeah. You don't always get what you want. My hand hurts today. Alright. But, so I suppose I should get to it, right? Scratching my eye. Alright. Fuck it, I was gonna go with those cool sheets, but I can't find them, so now I don't care. Because I really wanted it to work. Book of the Damned, Game Mastery Guide, Hexagonal Pathfinder Adventures, World Builder. Let's see if we can find it. Alright, so now we're going to do, a lot of people, oh, I'll put it on the southern side of the continent. Well, then, you know, north is where it gets hotter. If you live in the southern half of the, the world, you know that as you go north, it gets hotter. As you go south, it gets colder. And that's not exactly how people think nowadays. You fucking kidding me? It was right there. But, we're going to, lock those continents together. We're going to put everything in the north. We're going to have the south will be the faraway lands, and if they want to explore, they can go south. But, polyhedral is what I was looking at, as well as the, I found it, and I was looking at the maps. It's like, it's okay, I guess, but you know what, fuck it. We'll just go with it. Now, hello again, everybody, again. William Sava, okay. Huh. It didn't show up on either one. It should have. Oh yeah, there it is. Alright, but I keep switching back and forth to check on chat for a change. Alright, so the planet has 6 continents. And is 60% ocean, if we can get that out. Roughly the same for climate. Alright, hooray. Okay. Let's see. Now there's a way we could do this where we could have a disaster that most disasters in D&D seem to be a comet hitting or something like that. Although I will say Forgotten Realms has some unusual disasters, like when reality fell apart. I don't really pay attention to Forgotten Realms after the Time of Troubles because Time of Troubles is okay, but Cyric was like the worst god of evil ever because they kept neutering him because you can't have evil. You couldn't have. TSR had a thing about evil winning. It was a no-go. It was absolutely forbidden for evil to win at that point in time. Ew. What the hell? But so you know, Cyric was a dipshit bumbler, and Mystra won even though her head was firmly embedded in her asshole. Celeborn was unique, you know, a guy that breaks out of a sentient sword. I was glad when Bane came back. Bane was great. Bane was an asshole. Bane was a god of evil. Anyway. And a lot of people are like, oh, you don't need gods of evil, you don't need alignment. There is such a thing as evil in this world. And there should be evil in yours. If you keep making it so the good guys have always won and every country is a perfect utopia, you have removed the need for adventurers. You have to have friction. So, I think we're going to do 2 disasters. The last time I had said, okay, we got this cool disaster because sugar messed up the dwarves, which caused a collapse in metallurgy. And everybody was relying on the dwarves. I think we should do something else. But right now my brain is so torqued out it doesn't know what because of this headache. But yeah, I want to stream some for you guys, but anyway. Man. I don't know if you guys can hear this. Hopefully not. Morning. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hopefully not. That's not good. Morning. Alright. Oh, that is really not good. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hopefully not. That's not good. More. That's whew. Anyway. 2 disasters. One to wipe out the progenitor races. The other to wipe out the ancient empires. Oh, we got 3. One within the last 200 years to wipe out the old empires. That means everybody's young and hungry. The old empires would be shrunken and working with one another, but to the extent they could. Some will need 3 different disasters. Now, the one that should have taken out, the orcs attacking is another one they often use for disasters. Unless you plan on having orcs be half your civilizations, don't. They're the forces of evil, and any disaster they hit should hit them just as hard. I have never been huge on a meteor hit, stuff like that. It was cool when Thundar did it. A comet hurtling between the Earth and the Moon. Cracked the Moon in half and destroyed Earth. Gotta admit, that opening to Thundar was badass. But let's see. We'll go with it. We'll go with and that'll make sure we can double check and tell what's going on.
Feel the rhythm of their streets.
That way we can double check things. We'll go with oh crap, it looks like it is coming through, and that'll make sure we can double check and tell what's going on. Yep, I'm trying to get it so it's not doing my music in the background, because I like to listen to music while I'm working. I gotta figure out a way. I had it so that OBS wouldn't do it, but oh well. Especially when anyway. But 20 years to wipe out the old empires. Now the first disaster, it's a good one to have, and it works well. The first disaster, over farming with ruminants, over farming, ecological collapse. And actually, you could put multiple. The original, nobody knows what exactly caused the Bronze Age collapse. It was probably they think it was a whole confluence of things. The water went bad. There was a tidal wave that washed salt way the hell up into the fertile valley. A meteor hit, and I mean, it hit a city. Jericho, the walls of Jericho fell because of that meteor. And then the animals ripping everything up, and the bureaucracies were too big to handle the disaster, so everything collapsed. So, we could directly do that. Oh, and don't forget invasion. Now, see, the invasion of the sea people, they didn't get that far. They just raided the coast. But it still contributed. Nobody's sure who the sea people were, but hey. Second disaster. Actually, no, that should be the second disaster. The first disaster. Lightning from the heavens destroyed beyond T. The dragons, the elves, lizard folk. And that was our warden. Eliminating everything that might endanger the colonists. Having the warden up there really makes it so there's a reason why monsters keep appearing. Okay, there's two. You need to look up Metamorphosis Alpha if you haven't, and you need to look up a movie called Pandorum. Between the two of them, you'll get an idea of when a colony ship goes wrong. We could put the Warden 2 in the ocean, which would be funny. Third disaster. The old empires were overextended. Money clipping. Yeah, money clipping led to the collapse of Rome because nobody and the old adulteration made it so that people didn't trust the money, which caused it to collapse. Larger and larger areas couldn't talk to each other. All right. Let's see. Since then, let's see. After the second disaster, the gods took a greater hand and interest in the setting. Because that overfarming and the overfarming would ruin it, and the ecological collapse would create huge deserts. So where are we at now? We're at the 200 year mark where we're starting to spread out again. We're starting to look around, spread out, and go, okay, we used to have this territory. We should go look at it. But the big thing is we have it. All right, let's get down to our actual work. All right. I love the Yuan-Ti for progenitor race. And what do you know? We have it right here. Somebody was nice enough to make a very believable Pathfinder 1E sheet for the three of them. Half-Blood, Pure-Blood, and Abomination. Abominations are pretty cool. Abominations, okay, Pure-Blood, we're not going to find very many Pure-Blood anymore in the world. The Half-Blood, not really. The Abominations are what you're going to find. Now they're psionic, so you might want to decide if you want to include psionics. I have found, this is going to seem mean, but I have found that your best bet is to include psionics, but not give the players access to them. Keep them for strange and eldritch shit like the Yuan-Ti. And if players, well, why can't I have it? Because I said so. Alright, so we got the Yuan-Ti. So why don't we go with our early races? Oh, nope, sorry guy. Actually, while I've got you here, let me show you how to do something. Where is he? Okay. Oh. 2, no mythic rating, XP. I'd have to look it up again. Anyway. Guess it doesn't want to let me. Fuck my life today. Oh yeah. Alright. So we got a chaotic, medium, monstrous, humanoid, psionic, Yanti. Blam. Chaotic evil, size medium, type. Well, monstrous humanoid. Initiative 5. Senses. Dark vision 60 feet. Perception +9. Aura not defense, AC 18. Touch 12. Flat-footed 16. I just copy this, put it right there. And then now it's hit points. 22 out of 22. Hit point roll forward. 4 die 10. Hit die for 1 die 10. Well, 4 die 10. Somebody message me this late. This early. But spam. Okay, fortitude +1. Now see, this is going to actually, you always come up with these guys early because then you can place and you know what your architecture looks for your ancient ruins. The RT would have a lot of ramps. They would have a lot of ramps. This guy needs to be able to get up. He doesn't do good on stairs. So SR14, right there's our big one. In the Rune Lord game, Mythic was very much. Yes, William Silva pointed out, as for the Bronze Age collapse, you will forget that the Trojan War happened 20 years before the Bronze Age collapse. It left a major tin producer destroyed. And here's the thing, no tin, no bronze. I mean, if you played World of Warcraft, you know that. You have to have tin to go with your bronze. And a little bit of flux. But yes, he pointed out correctly. A lot of people don't know this stuff. You have the internet. You have no excuse. Space 5 feet. Reach 5 feet. Okay. So we're going to give him a spell-like ability. And let's see, we look for tactics. Let's see. Okay, no tactics listed right off the bat. So, alright, spell-like abilities. Now you click up here at the following books, you type in animal. Oop. Put your fingers on the keyboard, right? Ta-da. Spell-like abilities. Animal trance. We had to do it a little janky, so let's do detect poison. And put it in there. So you can just drag and drop now. Cause fear. Now they may only be CR2, but used correctly, they can be a huge pain in the ass. Now, a long time ago, Eddie Murphy was in a movie that did particularly bad, although I liked it, called The Golden Child. And in it, I didn't like a lot of Eddie Murphy's movies because it was just dude acts like a jerk ass, and we're all supposed to clap. I didn't really like that. But that's neither here nor there. But the person telling him things was behind a paper divider, modesty screen. That's what I want to call it. And she looked perfectly normal, and he got mad and he walked up and he ripped it away. And behind it was a snake woman. And he was absolutely shocked because, to his knowledge, everything was normal in the world. There was no such thing as snake women. There was nothing like that. So when he rips this curtain back, and there's the snake woman, he's shocked. Having Yuan-ti like that, where they're behind a curtain, and they're advising nobles, and they look like normal, because it doesn't go low enough to show that, hey, this person has a snake body. That way, when your players finally confront them and they whip it back to the snake body, more than likely they're going to react like it's a Medusa. If she's smart, she'll have prepared spells like that. But anyway, you can have her run for it. But see, already we're getting a good idea. She's young. Who's saying stuff to poison the nobles? These people. They help with the collapse. That way you can go, hey, these are the ones that caused the collapse. They're good at this stuff. Don't be stupid. Okay, special qualities, which I think is roll back up here. But and you also need to read things like, the Yuan-ti, the abominations rule over the Yuan-ti. The purebloods handle outside negotiations, always pretending to be human. Actually, we'll just put organization, because we will use this for the description. Now, see, because we know what our ancient tribes are, because we know who the ancients were, that's going to let us do a lot more. It's really hard to have a functioning society when these assholes are whispering in your ear, because they're going to destroy everything. Now we're going to put this under ecology, because I can't think of anywhere else to put it. Special quality, they can change shape into a viper. Later, sucker. Okay, pop. But sky is 5. Like I said, there's that divider, there's that privacy screen. Knowledge, any one of them. We're gonna give them knowledge, nobility, because dickhead. Perception +9, stealth +8. Survival +7. Racial modifiers. Skill notes. Languages. I don't think I missed anything too badly. Oh yeah, I did. Strength, 11. Let's see, by having this be one of our ancient races, we have determined that the ancient races are fallen. If they're not extinct, they're fallen. Now, I like making it so they're fallen. You know, there's a few, like, I see we keep Cyclopses out there because they can see the future. And they gave it their shot, and it turned out that they banked wrong because their chance would have been in the more future, but they jumped too early. Presto changeo. We've got ourselves environment, warm forests. Anyway, warm forests, solitary parabon, treasure double. Show special abilities. To the one y'all team sure one sheet. And of course, if you want to move quick, you would quickly make a image and a token. We're not going to take too long to make it. Making tokens takes longer, and since the way they're set, be a little harder for me. So we're just going to real quickly bust this open. And make an image. Save for web and devices. Whenever you use Photoshop and you want to save something, always save to web and devices because it wipes out the metadata a lot of times. You could say, well, if you do the setting correctly, it wipes out the metadata. We gotta make a new folder. Monster Picks. Yawn T Pure Blood. And then back here. Edit, click on edit. Avatar. There's other things you might want to do. I can actually mess around with stuff and make it so that a token, basically you would make a copy of it. Might as well show it to you on here. Okay, might as well show it to you on here. So, we go back, we make a copy. Duplicate file. Okay, we go to edit. Lady Stink Butt. And her token. We'll grab a token real quick. I got lots of tokens. Let me see to it. Okay, we'll do a quick one. Just grab something real quick. I don't want to go digging through every damn file I have, so congratulations. There. Hang on a second. Because we're uploading. Okay. Of course, we'd want to change her image, give her something better. Now, because we made a copy, it's not going to mess with the Yanti Pureblood up there. But, I like. Nope. Give it a second. This looks perfectly normal. Now, we throw her on there. There's her image. Of course, seeing as we're looking at seeing as we're doing that, we might as well do this. When you edit the token properties, okay, you want to come to Lady Stink Butt, and then we go down to hit points on the green. Okay, now let's add multiples of Lady Stink Butt, but I didn't want damage to affect all of them when one was damaged. You would then go back up to none. And that way the hit points are only for her. Red bar, AC. Advanced. Token machine, turn it on. She has dark vision, 60 feet. There we go. Boom, Lady Stink Butt. And we don't have to worry about her being exposed as one of these Yanti Purebloods until it's too late. Don't worry, we will do these tokens over and over and over. So, we've got our first one. So let's open up the bestiary real quick. Hello, pretty girl. But, so, there's a few entries we want to look at. Let's see. We want to look at Lizard Folk first. Lizard Man. Trying to remember. Yeah, I'm alive, and I'm trying to do better. It's not easy lately. A lot of, damn, my chest hurts. But, anyway. But, you have two different. You have Serpent Folk. At a Bestiary 2, and you have the Lizard Men. And we're going to use them both. Oh, wow. That just made roll 20 shit itself. Okay, we go down to Lizard Men. Or they've been Marge. Invisible Men Marge. Sorry, old Simpsons thing. Simpsons used to be funny. Sad how the mighty have fallen. I mean, it was a money-making machine. There we go, Lizard Folk. So include them. Because You are the degenerate of the ancient lizard men, and then bestiary 2 we got serpent folk, which I guess is what replaced Yanti. But the Yanti just have this certain thing about them. The Crenshaw. That's the dumbest fucking monster. And there we go. Shining Child. Serpent Folk. Check this motherfucker out. Now let's see if they have it in let's see if they have it in the stack. Yes, they do. Roll20 has it in the stack. So, you got your lizard men, you got your serpent folk, you got your auntie. You throw in your ancient elves. Okay. If you, a good one for that is, I suggest you take the time to read, if you can, ElfQuest. Should be available online. Number one, the take on the trolls is fun. The take on the trolls is definitely fun. But, the elves are different. They come in 3 flavors. Short, stocky from the woods. Medium height, slender, brown skinned from the desert. And then tall, willowy, and pale skinned from the castle. The tall, skinny ones are the original elves. The other 2 are descendants of ones that ran off. It made for interesting. It's interesting because Piney and her husband came out with it in the 80s. And look, leaves are not a new thing, okay? We all knew that weirdo in junior high and high school that read a little bit too much ElfQuest. But I'm here to tell you, take a look at the first parts. Well, hell, we got the internet right here, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, my system says it's overloaded. You're not. Shut up. ElfQuest. Types of elves. Forest-dwelling wolf riders, desert-dwelling sun folk, mountain-dwelling gliders, northern reindeer go-backs, and aquatic wave dancers. Wow, that's a lot more than I remembered. What's funny is the the lady desert elf was exotic and beautiful in the way she dressed and everything else. But lots of boys had their balls dropped with some of them girls because they showed them naked or half naked quite a bit. There was lots of naked elves in ElfQuest, which, you know, these pages aren't responding. Shut the hell up. Alright. Close that. We'll close a few things down here. But, yeah, I know I sound terrible, don't I? Sound terrible, don't I, Twitch? And YouTube. I sound terrible, don't I, Tubies? But, anyway, so we're going to have elves, so... And they were wiped out by death from the sky. AKA mass driver cannons. Progenitor races. So we have the Auntie, Serpent Folk, and the Lizard Folk. Now I say we could have them all be under the. We got them all under reptilians. we got elves. I really like what I came up with last time for the idea of the elves. The elves in the woods and in their homes. They're all ancient. They take forever to learn. But the ones in the human areas, they've embraced humanity, and they're like shrieking teenage girls running around. And the teenage ones, they die at about 300 to 350, where the ancient ones die about 750 to 900. And the reason why is the ones running around shrieking are running with overclocked brains and overclocked nervous systems, and it eventually kills them. The heat kills them. Your brain produces an amazing amount of heat. You ever notice you're not tired and you're thinking really heavy and suddenly you yawn? That is, it pulls air down the back of your throat, which actually helps cool the deeper parts of your brain that don't get cooled as easy. It's another function of your, it's another function of such a big blood pipe is to move heat, because heat is your brain's biggest enemy. Heat'll turn you into a retard as it boils the brain. Now we have elves, lizard folk, giants led by their cyclops priests, oracles. Okay. I like to do with the two different kinds of orcs. The AD&D orcs, the original ones, and the D&D / Pathfinder orcs. The original D&D orcs and goblins and hobgoblins were lawful evil. They could build armies, they could build civilizations. It was just might makes right. It was just evil. Brutal, savage, but civilizations. Where modern Warcraft and World of Warcraft made everybody think of orcs as big and green. Which in turn has led to, oh, they're just like us, they're just green. Which led eventually to the picture of the Mexican orcs, which was the dumbest shit I've seen in my fucking life. Once again, they have gotten rid of evil, so there's no real reason to be an adventurer, except, I guess, to keep up the status quo. But anyway, elves, the reptilians, the elves, the giants. I mean, 3 extinct races. We'll just imagine them up. We'll come up with those later, because we can't have all of them survive completely, but they left ruins behind. Alright. So there are your progenitor races. I really liked the idea of having the additional species, but the only way I would put them in now that I think about it is if you made them non-player character only. Which means you don't even need to do stats up for them and everything. I mean, that's, in my opinion, that's part of what washed down the that watered down D&D was tieflings are the spawn of a woman and a demon. It's not a big chance they're going to be good fluffy cinnamon rolls. And, you know, every drow in existence is Dritz Duorden. Every tiefling is Dritz Duorden. You know, half giants, everything else. Is like, you know what? Let's go back to the beginning. Which means, why don't we really go back to the beginning? I mean, really go back to the beginning. And we develop the following. Level limits by race. Max spells in spellbook. Racial NPC racial attitudes. And I know level limits by race. Oh, but what if I want to? No, shut up. Paladin. Lawful good only. Member of a church. Boom. No more of this. Oh, I'm a paladin who just believes in just shut up. Anyway, but have it restrict everybody, not just the PCs. As a matter of fact, you make it so the PCs can be, of course, you can always wave your hand. DM Fiat, there is the 14th level Dwarven Cleric, even though this is a max of 10th. And players are just shit out of luck. But you can also make it so that players can go beyond the limits based on their scores. Decide what kind of buy you want to have in your setting. Sometimes I like real high fantasy where it's a 25 or 30 point buy. Other times I like the low end where it's a 10 point buy. Enjoy your 10 point buy. I even ran games where, you started off with everything 10. And once the players got 500, got 1,000 XP, which isn't a lot, which is a lot depending on how doing slow. So 1,000 XP was a lot. And once they hit 1,000 XP, they could choose what class they wanted to be. And once they did that, for every 250 XP they got, or was it 500, they got a point to put in their abilities. The funny thing is, though, the whole group was starting off at, children. Children who were the survivors of a wipeout a la Conan from the original Conan movie. It was a good time. Everybody had a good time. Anyway. So you just, right there, and then you limit it. To gnome. Halfling, half elf, half orc, human, dwarf, elf. That's it. That's all you do, right there. You might have we might develop some subgroups later, but right now those are the big ones. Limit to the demi-humans. Humanoids are orc, big like, orc, Tolkien, orc, modern, goblin, AD&D, goblin, pathfinder, hobgoblin, AD&D. Ogre, AD&D, and Ogre, Pathfinder. Pathfinder ogres are different than most of them. Troll, Ancient 1, AD&D 1E, Standard, Pathfinder. AD&D Minotaur. Because Pathfinder Minotaurs look dumb. So, not as bad as it used to. Which one of the... I can't remember which one was just completely hairy. Yeah, we can stick with it. Funny thing is, in Trid, you can play a Minotaur. You were supposed to be very honorable and very honor-bound, but most people played them like generic random asshole murder hobos. Ah. I'm lucky. My group is mature. And my group is not after sheer power. Hell, we can go back to a Rise of the Runehorn games if we want to go back to being able to punt a fucking dragon across the river. We just need to lie. People have lives and people, it's a season change. Anyway, that doesn't matter. But I got a good group, so I can trust most of them with a Minotaur. But I'm not gonna, because that wouldn't fit into what we're playing. But anyway. So, it changes a little bit, because you have 3 different species of orcs, 2 different species of goblins, and I'll probably do 2 different species of hobgoblins. Let's take a look at the hobgoblins with the Pathfinder. I'll be lucky it doesn't choke on its own dick. It's, oh, it's lawful evil for a change. Okay, yeah, we can keep them. But, oh, kobolds? Kobolds, you gotta do it right. 1E AD&D. 2E AD&D. Kobold Pathfinder. Yipping dog like dipshits. Lizard like dipshit. Complete 4 feet of bastard. I mean, there's something to be said for the Pathfinder. Kobolds are wonder shit. But what we have is a ton of races that are looking at the civilized people of the world and saying, you know what? Fuck them. Goblins like to mine. Kobolds like to mine. They're going to be in direct conflict with the dwarves. Orcs and hobgoblins and orcs harvest the forest. That's going to put them in conflict with the elves. See, I like the industrialized orcs because they are far more dangerous. And they feel better. I just like them better. I don't know why. I guess it's because I do. But, like I said, 4 feet of absolute asshole. I've got to figure out why he's still saying that I'm doing Fallout 76. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway. So, that puts us with who's there and how many of who. Well, not how many, but it shows us just where we're looking at, which is good. Now that we know what we're looking at, we can now go, okay, we know the ruins. We know the ruins, we know the whole thing. But, anyway. Trying to think of what next before we launch back into the map. Because that'll be funny. Alright, we'll wait until I get back from a break before we wait till we get back from a break before we get to what we're doing. So we're gonna take a break.
Cock-a-doodle, hold the gate! Steel boots on the straw tonight! Hey, hey! He woke at dawn in feathers and pride. Tiny helm on a comb so wide, he sharpened the beak on a butter knife. Swore by the grain he'd guard this life. A hen looked up and rolled her eyes, said, "Show him, sir, and make him wise." He dug one claw in the coop yard dirt, then flared his wings like a battle shirt. Hear the clatter at the fence, boots and hooves and bad intent. He puffed up tall, all chest and fire, then screamed, "Nobody steals from my empire!" Keep out the coop, keep out the coop. Cluck, cluck, boom. Hey, hey. Keep out the coop, keep out the coop, or face my boot. Hey, hey. 3 fox lads came with grins to sly. One had a spoon and one had pie. The rooster knight spun his little lance, caught one jaw in a chicken dance. Shield went bang on a wooden pail. He slipped in mud, but he never failed. One fox lunged, got a face full of straw. He crowed so hard the whole yard shook raw. Hear that clatter at the fence, boots and hooves and bad intent. He puffed up tall, all chest and fire, then screamed, "Nobody steals from my empire!" Keep out the coop, keep out the coop. Cluck, cluck, boom. Hey, hey. Keep out the coop, keep out the coop, or face my boot. Late by the moon, the foxes fled. One lost a shoe, one lost his head. The hens all bowed to the feathered lord. He drank warm corn like a king at war. Then one small peck and one last glare. He said, "Try again if you dare." Hey, hey. Ah! Keep out the coop, keep out the coop. Cluck, cluck, boom. Hey, hey. Keep out the coop, keep out the coop. Our night broke through. Keep out the coop, keep out the coop. Crow loud, break loose. Hey, hey. Down at Ironmark Farm, a storm came off the bog. Green teeth at the gate and mud on every log. But Hetty at the porch rail with a broom and iron pan said, "If you want my yard, boys, come take it if you can." Her son had a splitting maul, her daughter had a pole. The goblins came in snarling for the hens and beetroot row. They leapt up through the nettles, they clambered at the stairs. But Hetty raised her lantern and laughed right in their ears. Then the young girls in the house started singing clear and high through the shuttered window panes like sparks against the sky. Hold fast! hooked on turnip peel, the second copper ache, the third met son and daughter and learned what iron makes. They tumbled through the mud bank like sacks in a threshing round, and the girls inside kept singing till even the rafters rang out proud. Then the young girls in the house started singing clear and high, through the shuttered window panes like sparks against the sky. Hold fast, the whole old beams replied, and every goblin footstep lost its nerve outside. For the mark, drive them from the yard. For the mark, strike them hard, strike hard. Hetty on the porch and the children out of sight. For the mark, let the cowards run and hide. By dawn the lane was empty, the crows went back to sleep, the broken pots lay shining where the goblin boots did creep. Then the teenage girl took saddle with her hair still pinned in braids and rode hard to the village green through morning's cold gray haze. To arms, for the mark, to arms, strike them hard, Hetty on the porch and the children at her side. To arms, for the mark shouted wide.
Alright, that's a hell of a thing, ain't it? I actually like those songs. That's our comment. The big wow, I gotta have some feedback checking my own voice. I'll be fine. But, so, there was some comment that the orcs were downgraded from industrial to savage in order to ensure the hobgoblins seemed redundant. And then they turned around and never included hobgoblins in jack shit. See, here's what you do. Orcs, Dark Shadow of Rome. Hobgoblin, Dark Shadow of Persia. Goblins. Conate. Got three very distinct cultures. Three different sets of gods. Three different building and architecture. Three different regions to put them in. The Orcish Caesar, orcs, is nothing like the hobgoblin Xerxes. I mean, if we go off of, what's that called? Hopefully you'll be able to hear my voice. I have got to get this out of my head. Anyway, okay, so. The Dragonborn, let's see. Can you still hear me? Anyway, can you still hear me? But the big thing is stop me nerfing the Dragonborn. I'm thinking about, I shouldn't be echoing now. Hopefully not. If you can hear me at all. It doesn't look like you can hear me at all. That's not good. Check. Come on. Hopefully not. If you can hear me at all. Okay, you can. You can hear me. All right. I was worried you couldn't hear me after I got rid of the echo, but I was worried you couldn't hear me. Turn this up a little bit. That might help a little bit. Anyway. Okay, good. You can hear me. All right. All right, so we got that. Yeah, I'm still getting used to OBS. Back when I used OBS, it was like complete crap. I haven't used OBS since me and Dad stopped streaming about 6 years ago. But anyway, so if especially, I mean, look at 300. Let's say you make your Hobgoblin Xerxes like 300. He is not going to be ruling the same country as the Orcish Caesar from Xena. It's two different architecture styles, two different leadership styles, and if the Hobgoblin throne is weak, the satraps start doing whatever the hell they want. So you end up with a weak leader on the throne, and city-states that do what they want, which could be, your interesting cities. Imagine your players being able to journey to a Hobgoblin city-state where the satrap is like, screw the throne, I do what I want. And there you can, find yourself trading, a magic blade on the market with hobgoblins, orcs. And the goblins being Khanate really fits them. Give them yurts, give them not horses, but big wolves, or the goblin dogs to ride. And they're slower, they require more meat. So they're not going to spread as fast and as far. But still, it means when a Khanate warband shows up, they're there to kill everything. Let's see. I don't really do the Dragonborn, because there was like one, and he was Alias's friend and a paladin with that weird looking sword. Crap, I can't remember. Moander's Road. But yeah, Curse of the Azure Bonds and the sequels. But it wasn't bad, but then they did something to the Dragonborn, I don't know what. And then you had the dragon kind out of Kryn. And those were just evil assholes. Nothing like hitting one and killing it, and it turns to stone, and there goes your weapon. So now you're fighting with your bare hands. That's why characters in Kryn always carry like 5 swords. Or you kill one and it explodes into poison gas. That's always fun. But a lot of people don't know that about Kryn, is killing one of the dragon troops could kill your character. Tieflings just, I know they're supposed to be 2nd and 3rd generation. But it's just watering it down to me. Of course, I've got my own opinions. But yeah, I got my own opinions. You know what? We'll put a Dragonborn. Oh, let's see. What is the equivalent of Dragonborn? Dragonborn equivalent Pathfinder. Let's see, the Kobold. Medium-sized draconic human-born. Let's see, Kobolds, no. Lizard folk, no. Wyverians, no. So we'd have to make one. So, yeah. So yeah. I don't know, maybe it's the players that annoy me with tieflings. It's like Drow, just get the hell out of here. But yeah, I think there was Dragonborn in D&D 3.x. I know there was 3.0. Dragon. Yeah. And +2 con, -2 dex. This is not too good. I remember in 3.0, Deacon. No wait. Anyway, the little kobold guy that sold you stuff in Everyone Nights 2, he was turning into a dragon. He had wings and everything. He also used to sell some of the top tier fucking magic items. Because he could. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, T for modern day good drow. Dragonborn shouldn't be erasing and propagate themselves. I'm picturing them more like that dragon from Alias's buddy. I cannot remember his name. But took Alias a while to figure out that the smells around him were actually his moods and him talking. But I mean, you could do that, but I mean, they'd have to be extremely rare. I mean, extremely rare. Alright. Again, tempting to put in the rat folk, cat folk, Umas. I just love Umas. Horse girls. But think of how much they disrupt the setting. They can run 50, 60 miles an hour. And can eat on the run like humans. And it completely changes, and they can carry a lot too. It completely changes the dynamics of your world. Suddenly, whoever's got the most horse girls wins the wars. I mean, that's not even getting to the fact that they're, supposedly supposed to be stronger than humans. So, I wanted to add the extra, but like the Mice Girls, I like the Mice Girls. I liked the Mice Girls a lot because I do. Go ahead and shut this all real quick. I mean, for those of you that weren't here, let's see if we can find out why. Here is our short elves. No, yeah, these are our short elf women on their day out shopping. This, of course, is in one of the major areas. As you can see, I am not a fan of modern everybody wears brown catfolk. Too many of that picture, but it was okay. But I am not a fan of everything is brown. Dwarvish ladies out on a shopping spree. I did a bunch of shopping spree pics because gnomish ladies working over the maps, planning their armada's next shopping. I think we're still going to stick with it. I liked it. Well, I don't know. Probably less industrial sized, Again, I think that's halfling women. But, oh. Here they are. The rat folk girls. They look like they're gossiping about you right now. You, right here, sitting at the computer, they're gossiping about you while they buy fans. Because, I don't know. I like the idea of additional races. I just don't feel like sitting down and going through what it means to them. You can practically hear them. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, we missed the sale. Oh dear. kind of want to put them in, but at the same time, it's just such a the 3rd edition had the best dwarves. Yes. Yes, it did. If you're going to do dwarves, you got to do them right. Of course, here's another image of that I did up of the short elves. I mean, there's just a thing about costuming. And people don't realize, the costuming is huge for your characters and everything else. See them coming down the market way. But see, making them interesting is a problem for most DMs. Making them interesting is a problem for the core races. I mean, the dwarves are always a sad, depressed, failing race. I mean, God, Forgotten Realms was like they're going to be extinct in a generation, maybe 2. What was it? Flint Fireforge in Dragonlance had seen exactly 1 female his entire life. And it was like, yeah. And, and of course, Gygax was like, that's not how I meant them. People just don't see their females because their females are reclusive. And everybody took it as, oh yeah, they're a dour, dying race. And elves are such a weird one. On one hand, the elvish supremacy is practically ridiculous but there's never anything to back it up. I mean, elves consider themselves the greatest species on the planet. Yeah, well, I can fix your fucking town with a torch. And then you had Mithranor, which my players, when the box set Ruins of Mithranor came out, I bought that thing, and my players were fucking ecstatic. They were going to loot that place to the fucking ground. And they did. Now, the Mithranor box set had something that we're going to steal. We're just going to call it something else. But it had the Mythal. And it was heavy magic laid over Mithranor from when it was a city that has certain beneficial effects. I think it was like up to 9. And if you do it right, it's really cool. But, the other thing that a lot of people missed was, according to Gygax and Arneson and the other people who made AD&D, and oh my god, I hate Twitter. How many people claim that, Gygax and Arneson were the real creators of D&D. This person was. That's like, will you shut the fuck up? Of course, it's the same crop of guys who are like, oh, he played his own game wrong. But, the elves, the demi-humans were supposed to be somewhat rare. I mean, unless it was a major cosmopolitan city or you went to where they lived, you weren't really supposed to see that many elves, or that many halflings, or that many dwarves, or that many gnomes, because they were rare. They didn't hang around humans. Because humans are big and dangerous. And stompy. So, it led to all of that. Alright. Let's, real quickly do what I should have been doing a while ago. Wow, that came out bigger than I meant it to. Don't care. Let's see here. We're going to switch to hexes. X vertical. 80 miles. Let's double check and make sure that I'm doing the right thing. At 80 miles a hex, an Earth-sized planet would be what? 150 by 100? Oh, huh. Alright, so let's see. Twice. At 150. Hex size 150 miles with 150 by 100 by 150. Okay. Hex size 150 miles at 150 by 100. Wait. How big are the hexes for a planet roughly Earth-sized with a map roughly 150 by 100? 166 miles across. Wait a minute. I just said 150 miles and you said it's a super Earth. Nearly double the size of the planet. This is why I hate AI sometimes. Okay. 150 near Earth. So 150 mile hexes and 150 wide by 100 tall is Earth are different dimensions. Oh. Okay. Yeah. 150 by 75 then. There we go. All right, 150 by 75. Okay. Fuck me. Well, the base races aren't so much bland as they are. No, okay, you're right. They have become kind of bland. The problem is they've all become coffee shop. They've all become San Francisco barista. Alright, so here's our map. Alright. Yeah, you get coffee shop barista world is the problem. That is really what turned out to be the problem with D&D, is they turned it into barista world. Look how great we are. Anyway, so. Alright, let's throw down some continental plates. Alright. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll throw one more in because this one joins up over here. We're going to do this. And we're going to do this. Because this wraps around over to here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 continental plates, not bad. Alright. So, continental plates are going to do two things. They're going to create oceans, where they're being pushed down. We're going to have this one, this plate right here, is entirely subluxing. This one right here is entirely being pushed down. So that's going to be the deep part of an ocean. Don't forget, those of you who watch the SpongeBob show enough, know that you get to the, according to their lore, you get to the edge and there's this huge cliff. That's true. At the edge of the continental shelf, there is a drop, and we are talking miles down. Sometimes only a mile, sometimes 3, 4 miles. Straight down, almost straight down. I mean, you look up, it's like, oh, it's more like a very steep slope. Yeah, straight fucking down. So, most of your aquatic races would live in the shallows, where it's about 90 meters, 270 feet. Light doesn't. How far does light penetrate water? 200 meters. So that's why the edge of the continents are full of life, is because it can light penetrate that deep. Now, what would be the effect if the oceans were 5 degrees warmer? What effect would that have over 5,000 years, disregarding the effects upon humans? Okay, hot state. Massive sea level rise. Warmer water, blah, blah, blah. Takes up more space. That's weird, because ice takes up more space than that. Total ice melt. What would be the difference on a planet that wasn't Earth? Deep sea suffocation. Death of the coral reef. See, here's the thing. I didn't say 5C, I said 5F. Anyway. atmospheric pressure is higher. That means you can have bah, you know what? We don't care. We stopped caring. You know why? Because it's a little bit. Five F, not 5C. Yeah, okay. So we don't care. Didn't take long for us to not care. It was the Jasmine in the Hollywood, yeah. All right. So we're gonna ignore science because science is fucking boring. Okay, so this is going to be underwater, which means here are your continental plate edges. So we're going to do this. Okay. Now, the shelf doesn't extend that far. How far does the continental shelf extend from the coast? 40 to 50 miles. All right. But yeah, we're going to have a little bit more fun. I mean, the continental shelves are bigger. So, we're going to loop it. Like this. Now later, we're going to put some mountains on the edge that occurred initially. See, we're going to make it so there's an actual big continental shelf on this one. Then we do this. It's on the back. Alright. So we've got our continental lines. So once again, we're going to go like this. Okay, and then we're gonna go like that. So it's like the Mediterranean is pretty much one of these shallower ones. So we'll have a long continental shelf because this world is a little younger. Okay, now there's our main. So let's push up subluxation zones here. That's there, which of course means it corresponds here because those two meet. And we could, yeah, we're going to go this, and then just do this. The funny thing is all of this actually helps to lay down virtually everything. To set down almost all, and I mean all of your terrain. Yes, this is extremely rough because LOL. Alright. Now, the way the map is, there's not very many non-mountain ranges that aren't by the coast. Most of our mountain ranges, with the exception of this big-ass one, and this one, are not near the coast. Those are the only two that aren't. So, we come down like this. We got one. Got one over here. And we go like this with one. And this like one. Now we can screw this whole area. All the way over here. A thin one. Another thin one. Okay. Now's where it gets interesting. But next is where it gets interesting because I screwed all kinds of shit up. But you know what? I don't even care. We're going for fantasy, so nobody cares. Next thing you put up is your rivers. Rivers go from north to south unless it's something like this, and then they always do this. Yep. Rivers are always going to eventually be right there. Well, that one doesn't, but this one would. Major rivers. Number one, we've got a very wet world here. Nothing wrong with that. Rivers are very important because rivers are where your towns and cities start and end. These, of course, are coming off the mountains. Now, this is just preliminary. We're going to wipe some of these out. More than likely, the interior of this is going to be desert because, look at it, it's fucked. There's a lot more rivers than people think. Where some of these can be looked at as aquifers. We might sink them into the desert, or I might sink them into the plains. Back before companies like Hershey was sucking up all your water and lowering your aquifer, water used to be a lot more closer to the surface. A lot of people don't know that. Like Washington, Oregon, and California should be better off in water than they are. But the majority of it is soaked up for industrial use and for bottled water. Hershey drains entire fucking aquifers for their, see, that's not supposed to happen. So we go like this. Give it a reason. We'll give it a reason later. More than likely, this would be desert over here. But yeah, we just start marking the water. We're being really sloppy and overly generic. We're not really putting them down for too hard. But you're starting to get an idea here. I don't think this is... I think there's a little bit too much land here. Some people may argue with me. I think it is. I think there's too much land. So, you know. I think this looks better, a little better. I think that looks a lot better. Here's another one. I think we should cut that. Of course, this part doesn't really matter because nobody's going to see it but us. But it's the point, you know? That's looking a little better. It looks like I took an axe to it. Anyway. Alright, for adventuring purposes, I mean, if we're to lay our campaign setting, this right here is not a bad area. Remember, each of these hexes is 150 miles wide. So I mean, we could print screen this. And then let's see. It was 150 miles. You know what? I don't even care right now. Square hex V. Alright, so we do it like this. Save for weapon devices. Actually, we should have done other stuff, but you know what? I forgot. For example, we should have laid down the forest, the deserts, all that. I'm an idiot. First thing you gotta do is you gotta do your bands. This is very important, so that you know what you're looking at. Okay? Equator. Tropical. Subtropical. Temperate. And then subtropical, subarctic and Arctic. Look at that. Now that's a nice setup. All right. Now we don't really have our air currents down, which we kind of should have. We really should have had our air currents down. No, we might do that another time because I'm getting tired. Yeah. Well, we're creating a world from the top down. Alright, so I am out for the night. I might be back later today, but right now I'm beat. So, I am out because I am very tired and feel like I am being beaten by sticks. When we come back, we'll do air currents. And on the big map, we'll do a layer of air currents. And that will help us visualize everything else. So, I will let everybody go and have a good night.
You're safe in your sleep. Moon on the board and the latch held tight. Cold in the corner, warm in the night. I lay the old signs by your cradle rail to turn every fear from your tender trail. Safe in the cradle, safe through the night. Salt at the door.